should understand the necessity of the training. If you are not trained, you are not able to use it, and the next step is this sucks, it doesn't work. And the first starting point should always be that if you are having 10 person who should be attending to a training, get sure and be sure that all the 10 persons are present and all will be trained, because it's a very common problem that the training is considered something mandatory, which is not nice, and so on. But that's the key to make your life easier in the future.
Okay, that's a good opportunity to deep our understanding and our knowledge about all the expectations, because if you read some lines about the expectation of what is happening in other country or other partners, you make your idea that it's superficial. So this is a great opportunity to explain with the posters what are you doing, what were the benefits, what were the challenges. Yes, Serpa? All right.
When I'm listening to you, I'm starting to think that are these the steps for the model of the collaboration between universities and video technology? When we are talking first that, well, first it's important to know why we are using videos. Second step I heard is that how to use it. And the third step is that there is support, technological support available on demand. And are these the steps for our collaboration? I'm not talking about this pedagogical model yet,
Yeah.
but about this.
Yeah, I will add one step. It is the preparation, the pedagogical preparation of people who are going to use the system.
Yeah, so this is
Training
like a
sessions. Yeah.
Good.
That is, what, as much as I can understand, it's crucial. If you don't have people, well, they know why they use technology and how to use them.
I think the why is more important.
Yeah.
One thing I would mention just for the record, and then we can maybe come back to it when we talk about whether we would be developing something new. One of the things that we have based our approach is concerns-based adoption model.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've shared that with you. I think I have. And it is about that. It is about understanding from the perspective of the teachers or the professionals who are starting something new, why they're doing, what will it mean personally for them and for their practice, and to go through any concerns that they may have. So they really need to understand that, and this is what we do now, before we actually go on to technically how to use it and which buttons to press, because, and often sometimes we have the challenge of convincing our clients that we're not going to talk about technology in the first session, because if you don't know why and how it's going to help you, then it's not very useful why you know which buttons to press.
May I have a comment?
Yeah.
I agree with you, but also I have experienced that you don't know where you can use this if you don't know what possibilities it has. So it's like, vice versa as well.
Yes, we do get that often, and of course it's part of that. So they have to. It's important to understand in general, first of all, what you can do. But I guess this is where we talk about meeting them where they are, because if you have more experience and if you have clear idea of what you want to achieve, then of course you want to know also what are the possibilities and you can work it out. But we come across also professionals who don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And this is where I think it's important to first of all have that conversation. What are the objectives, for example, for that particular session or for that year? And then when we prefer to explain our technology in the context of the objectives and the needs, because there is so much and you can be overwhelmed about all the possibilities you can do. And we have come across that time and time again, they're impressed, and then we go away and they don't know what to do with it or where to start. So I can see both sides, and this is why I think the tailored approach is important.
Thanks.
Any questions, Mark?
I think what I saw with Nara and Arai is that when they actually get acquainted with the technology, then, but please correct me if I'm wrong, that then the process can only start and the mind is open for, but how I'm going to do that with my students? Because you can know what you want to do, because I want that they have better reflections. Huh? But then, and I know how the video technology is how the technology works, but then you came with the questions, how I'm going to do that as a teacher, pedagogically actually. So what kind of work methods or interventions, so that's also important then, but it's something that only comes and teachers can handle and think about it when they are secure about their feeling that, oh, I can handle this technology. And I already have an idea what my goal is. But that, it doesn't mean that if you know why you're using the video and how to use the video, that you know how to use it pedagogically. Because then that chapter is coming into the conversations.
Also, and also how is it replacing what you're already doing?
Yeah, it's getting distant from how you do it normally.
Yeah.
And to get ideas how you can do it.
I think it's
I don't know if other experiments have experienced that too, but.
I would like to also address the question to Tato. I think you have studied this thing, not from the video pedagogical point of view, but from the educational technology point of view. Am I right?
What do you mean
Exactly. What I mean exactly. I mean exactly that you can base your arguments on studies you have made concerning using ICT in education. Am I right? That you have studied exactly this process, educational technology.
maybe if you think about the educational change models, you can find some answers on that. Changes is a process, and is a step-by-step process until the final step, which is integrate totally and use naturally the technology on the teaching and learning process. So it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes communication, collaboration, and also other mindset for dealing with the curriculum and evaluation and other things. So it's a complex process. We know that from decades. When we think about introducing computers or internet in the curriculum, it's not to come to the school and the next day it's all right. It's not happening. It's a long process. I don't know if I have.
It's a good general discussion. We know from theory that actually it takes time to get used to with new technologies, and then there's a drop in the outcomes maybe even when you start to use new technology, and then you will learn to use it, and then maybe you will reach to the same level in results compared to the level what you had before without this particular technology. But it might be that you also reach to a higher level. This time frame is different for different technologies and for different people. We don't have that kind of study specifically focusing on this issue. It's just too general topic actually.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And we know that the much majority of teachers don't use technology. That's something, at least at our context. I can count the people who use in the classroom, the students.
But what we know from our studies is that the teachers' attitudes play much more important role attitudes towards technology compared to the knowledge and skills of using technology. So that actually this is not so. Knowledge and skills are not usually the most important restricting factors of using. So that it's our
Because
attitudes.
teachers use the technologies personally,
Yeah.
but not professionally.
Yeah.
Because on that,
Yeah,
that
please.
count, because the studies also show, particularly of the technology, is that if we can increase the self-efficacy of users of the students, it helps and even helps them to use it and motivates them. And it comes to that, it doesn't matter how poor or how good you are, but if you have the right attitudes, and if we as educators can support the build-up of the self-efficacy, we can
Yeah.
actually achieve something new.
Yes, I agree. Okay. May I give another step? Now we are looking for the lead users. But what I get from the interviews, all of you went through your lead users that were identified by companies. There was an interview guide, and all people collaborate on interviewing lead users who are the users of technologies more innovative in some kind of technology. So what I could extract from the interviews, I put here in the small, because it is what you need is to understand what is the competencies, the pedagogical competencies, methodological competencies, and also technological competencies that we need to identify in order we can use the system for video supported collaborative knowledge. And so for the pedagogical competence, what I take is competencies on teachers' observation, analysis and reflections, and teachers' feedback. Of course, is related to why to observe the teacher and what to observe a teacher in a teacher performance. You see, these are not easy questions, and the way that it's to observe the teachers in his or her teaching practices also needs systematic tools and instrumentations in order we can take the best from the observations. It's something we have to take in account. It's not only to put the video camera, take the picture, and understand what is happening. So it is important that we take attention to these competencies when we implement our implementations. Who is observing? What he or she is observing? Why the teacher who is observed is observed, and what he will benefit from that. So this is what lead users told us. Take care with observation, analysis, reflections, and feedback. Then also some specific ways of doing these operations in collaboration with others. Collaborative analysis, collaborative discussions, collaborative reflections. These all are concepts and ways of doing the work, but together with the teachers or the supervisors or who is involved in the team in the project. In terms of methodological competencies, what I was able to extract is the attention for the setting up and organizing the stage for video capturing and recording practices. It's a kind of concern with the preparation of the video capturing and recording. It's not something that you can make instantaneously. It has to be prepared. What is the room? What is the equipment installed? How I put the students? Where I put the teacher? Where can I? All these things are important factors. In order the video capture and the teachers feel comfortable in doing each job without taking the cable or other things. So this is important because it can happen that things go wrong because it's not well set up or something is wrong. Also for what is videotaped, what is video recorded, the selection of the teacher's actions or students' interactions or whatever is observed, but it is very important. How I will segment, maybe I need to make some parts, first, second, three, not 1 hour of video, that I can know what I can extract for that information.
Unless you have the technology to then
Yes.
and extract it and have different viewpoints on different things.
That's
Yeah.
good. Well, it's a concern that I was able to find. Also competencies for supporting peer group or work collaborative analysis and the reflections. How students are working. Are they doing well, they are collaborating, they are helping each other, they are confronting the ideas, they are moving on. So that's a kind of competencies that also users help us to identify. Then the technological competencies, installing and setting up video equipment. What equipment you use? Do you use a tablet to record, a smartphone, camera, all the stuff, accessories, all these things have an important role in the ecosystem. Also the physical space, of course, recording, uploading and storing video within platforms. That one problem we have with Adviso, for example. We would not able to uploading the videos and the work was compromised because of that. But teachers need to be comfortable on making that. It's not, platforms are easy to use, every time easier, so, but it's important they get that competencies. It's the same about creating managed accounts and participating on professional online communities. There's something, usually it's not given so much attention, but participating in an online community have some rules, have some ways of doing that, changing information, how you take care of the other people who are in the community, having manners and courtesy enough to get sympathy, to get ideas, to benefit also the interaction. So all of these things are also important. That's one of the things we find on with users. This is complementing because in this slide I was talking about competencies related with video live capturing and recordings. I organize the information on that. Then if you look now for another way of using video making and creation, we have a little bit differences on competencies they point out. The pedagogical competencies are related with this concept of collaborative learning and knowledge building. What does it mean for the teachers? How is it important for teachers and for students? Why? Why I make an option to create videos instead of viewing videos? Why? This is a challenge. And also introducing the process of creating a video in your course or in the classroom, it needs some some preparation, some equipment, some competencies in order you can take the whole process to the final and take the best for the technology. They also refer on competencies on project management. Here again, the time-consuming resources, all these kind of issues that can help or not help to do the process of making and creating videos in the classroom. Also, of course, technology, as I understand from lead users' interviews, need to be embedded in student-centered pedagogical perspectives, maybe project-based learning, acquired-based learning, or other framework where things get meaning and can help learning. Also, the group processes that happen in this kind of environment, and of course, all the process itself in terms of pre-production, making scripts, storyboards, then the production, then the post-production phases. All these kind of methodologies should be, the teacher should be competent on doing that. Then the technological competencies, of course, which is not also easy in this way of using video, installing and setting up video equipment for taking the information or images, audio, multimedia, to integrate and make a digital narrative consistent and interesting. This is for the last way of using video for supporting collaborative way, which is video-based content. Most of the times I'm talking about the iVideo education. That's where our lead users come from, and the main model in this area we have. And iVideo education has a particularity. It's very transversal. It's very flexible. It can be used for video capture and recording teachers' practice, and also analysis and comments. It can be used in making and production videos and putting it in platform and stimulating learning, and can be used on just as a video content, normal, present information. So it's a flexible technology that can be transversal in all these kind of types. So it's very interesting to see that the potentialities of this technology. But of course, they point some of the points that I have already mentioned before. Competencies for exploring pedagogical potentials of video content, where when the content is only on the video, how can we promote collaborative learning? If I put a TED talk, for example, in my classroom, what can I do with that? How can I produce collaborative learning with a TED talk in my classroom? How can I manage that? It's not to put the talk. That's one step. But we need to prepare, we need to discuss, we need to identify points, we need to stimulate interactions, discussion, in order we can learn together about something it's our interest. Methodological competence they have identified for planning and designing instructional plans and activities to promote students' learning. I suppose it's one mainstreaming of the platform using this for instructional purposes, although it can be used for other purposes. Competencies for exploring process and methods on collaborative learning and knowledge building. It's another way of seeing the technology, so it means new competencies, new knowledge for doing that, and also technological competencies, including the free ways of using the video viewing, video live capture, recording and video maker. So you need to read all the things, to learn all the things. Well, of course, the experimentation will be focused on one of that. I mean, and so that the competencies you need to know. Well, before we go to the experimenters, maybe we can comment something or make some questions again about the lead users, interviews, and what I can extract from the interviews. Is something missing? Maybe. I need to learn that I can't.
You said that.
Yeah, I said that. I will fix here.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Jose. Very nice.
Some questions? It's just one thing more about the experimenters and needs analysis. I don't know if you make a break or I don't know.
Should we have a break?
Yes.
Yes, let's have a little break. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And